Welcome back to another episode of Sealy Strategics. So today we're going to be going into a detailed description of my P80 custom Glock 19 build. People have been asking me about this. People have been asking me about the build list. A lot of people have been interested. So today we're going to go ahead and just talk about it. I'm going to go into the features, the parts that I put into it, and just give you a detailed description on what I like about this pistol, the reason I built this pistol. If there's something I didn't mention or touch on throughout the video, just go ahead and leave me a comment. So without further ado, roll that beautiful B-roll footage. Alright, so the first thing we're going to talk about is the frame. It's a Polymer 80 frame from Polymer 80. I don't remember the exact model number, but it's the one for the Glock 19. It's a Glock 19 Polymer 80 frame. Going in from the frame, we're going to go up top and we're going to talk about the slide. The slide is Patriot Ordnance Firearms. I'm pretty sure that's what the S stands for. If I'm wrong, oh well. It's a POS gentleman slide. I love this slide. I just love the serrations in it. Let's go ahead and make sure we're clear. I just like the serrations. It's very aggressive. It's very grippy. You can, you can do your cool guy. You can do your cool guy press checks on them. It's a lot of texture. You can't miss it. You can't help but to go ahead and get that grip. It's just a really awesome slide. I like how it just has those cuts in it. In the gentleman slide, it just reminds me of Megatron from the Transformers. I don't know what it is. It's just something about the way how it's cut and the way how it's shaped. It just reminds me of Megatron. That's why I fell in love with this slide. It was one of the few slides that was available for Glock 19 at the time when I was building this. So I didn't have a lot of options, but out of the options I did have, this was the slide that I liked the most. After the slide, we're gonna just go right into the barrel. Go ahead and take this down for you. Just set this off right here. Take out the guide rod. The barrel, man, it's a little bit dirty. It's a little bit dirty, you know what I'm saying? You can see the marks there. There's no hiding that. But the barrel is from Zafiri Precision. What can I say about this barrel? So originally, the barrel that I wanted for this build, the nice fluted barrels, the one that had the little swirl lines in it, or the ones that had the straight lines, either or. I wanted those, but they were completely out of stock. COVID-19, everybody paranoia, buying up all the guns and the gun parts, and it was just hard to find anything. I didn't get the extended suppressor link barrel where you can put the little suppressor sticking up on there or whatever, the little suppressor cap or whatever. I didn't get that one for this build because I wasn't never intentionally planning on running this gun suppressed. It never crossed my mind to run this gun suppressed, so I wanted the flush mounted barrel, fit flush with the slide. As you can see right there, I wanted it to flip flush, and I like how it just kind of have that little indentation in the barrel. To me, that just goes along with the cuts in the slide and everything. Let's get back to the Zafiri Precision. So this barrel, I fell in love with this barrel. I wanted a fluted barrel because the POS slide has open top cut on the slide. So I wanted it to be able to show, I want you to be able to kind of see that when you look at the barrel. It's kind of covered a little bit because just how it's cut, but you can see two of the ports in the barrel. When I zoom in and I roll that B footage over, you'll see what I'm talking about. I wanted to go with a tin / gold color in this build because it's a Gucci Glock. What's a Gucci Glock without gold in it? Bruh. So as you can see, I have gold accents. I'm going to get into all the parts or whatever and why I chose the gold parts. I wanted the barrel to be tin or gold colored, just so when you stick the barrel into the slide, you can see through the slide and you can see the gold running through there. I'm just gonna go ahead and call it gold because for some reason I can't say tin right now. It's 9mm, it's flush mounted, it's ported. Those ported cuts it just adds more detail. It just adds more to that eye candy for me, and that's why I went with the Superior Precision tin / gold barrel. I talked about the frame, talked about the slide, talked about the barrel. Next up, I'm gonna talk about the trigger. The trigger is a Boogeyman custom / tactical pontoon or ponton. Hey James, if I'm butchering the name, just holler at me, man, and tell me how to pronounce the name. I call it tactical pontoon because that's just what it looks like to me. If that's not the name of it, I'm sorry, my bad. The trigger is a Boogeyman Excomunicado trigger system. It's a beautiful trigger system. It's gray. I specifically chose gray because I know that the slide is going to have a little bit of gray in the front of it and throughout of it. And I know that one of my extended mags is going to be gray, so that's why I went with the gray. It matches perfect with it. It has the gold pins in the trigger and the red trigger safety. I went with a red trigger safety because even though there's absolutely no other red parts on this gun, I just thought the red trigger safety just made it pop. It's just like with my truck. My truck, I have it's mostly black or whatever, but I have those little red accents that pop out, like the red tail hooks and the red hitch in the back end. Just the little red emblems. My brake calipers are red. Just a little hint of red. Red is one of my favorite colors, in case you guys haven't noticed, but red is my favorite color. So I wanted to have a little hint of red, and also a couple of my extended magazine base plates or my base plates are red, so I wanted to make sure I have a little bit of red in there, so if I ever swapped out my base plates, I can put that red or the mag wheel or whatever. I just want to have that little red, and even though there's absolutely no other red part, it just completely makes this pistol pops. That little red trigger safety. Kudos to me for coming up with the red, and shout out to Boogeyman Customs. DJ, I'm ready to do some work on my pistol, man. Holla at me, bro. Stop playing. Also, James, you know, he sauces up the trigger system. I don't know exactly what he does. I think he polishes them and he just tunes them to make them super crisp and clean or whatever. Shout out to you guys. That's the trigger system. It's a Boogeyman Customs, tuned up by my boy James at Tactical Pontoon. Shout out to you guys. That's the trigger I'm using, Tactical Pontoon / Boogeyman Customs Excomunicado trigger system. So next we're going to talk about the magwell. The magwell. This magwell is a Cross Armory's magwell. I knew for a fact when I was building this right off the top that I wanted a gold magwell, and I had to do a lot of footwork, a lot of leg work, a lot of internet searching to find a company that had a gold magwell and a gold magwell that I liked. Because there are companies out there with gold magwells, I think they're ugly as shit. Ugly as shit, if you ask me. And Cross Armory had the one that I like. I just like the indentation that it has. I just like the look that it gives. It looks like real elegant, but it's still real functional. As you can see, it's chipped up around the edges because I actually, like I said, I actually trained and used this pistol. So it's chipped up at the edges, but it's not that bad. It's just where the rounds hit the magwell when you doing reloads and stuff like that. You know, that's the whole purpose of the magwell, is to help guide the rounds, the magazine into the magwell. It just helps you guide it in there, so when you're loading your rounds and the magazine, it's gonna just hit the corners of it, and so you're gonna see little chip pieces in the corner. But even though they're little chipped and nicked, you can't really tell. Like, you really can't, especially from a distance. It looks like I haven't even used it, honestly. Cross Armory did an awesome job. I like the design, I like the look, I just like the elegant but still rugged and tactical look, or tactical, or whatever you want to call it. And so that's why I went with Cross Armory. Blacklist Industries has one of my favorite magwells, but Cross Armory had one I wanted in the gold, and so that's why I went with the Cross Armory. So moving right along from the magwell, let's talk about the mag release. The mag release is also Cross Armory's. I originally wanted to go with a Tyrant Designs mag release, but when I saw the Cross Armory's mag release, it just, to me, the three-dimensional look, the texture that it has, just the look that it has, and it's also the same gold plate as a mag well, so it was just a perfect fit for me to go with the Cross Armory mag release. And it functions awesome. It looks awesome on both sides. That's another thing. A lot of mag releases, they look good on one side, probably like on this side where you actually release, but then the other side is just bland and plain. And the gold and the subtle Cross Armory logo that's on the other side when you push it, I just thought it was a nice touch, and it just looks awesome, and it flows so well with the mag roll that I had to go with the Cross Armory's mag release. Moving right along from the mag release, we're going to talk about the RMR, the red dot system, and the sight system that I use. I went with a Trijicon dual RMR, and the dual RMR is just basically the battery-less RMR. A lot of the RMRs that, it has the buttons on the side, you can, you press the button to go make the dot brighter. You can press it down. I like those. There's nothing wrong with those. And a lot of people don't like the dual amber RMRs because it's hard to pick up the red dot when you're in a bright situation. If you're outside and it's a bright day, that is true to a certain extent. For example, if I'm looking at the red dot, I can see it right now. But the minute I go into, I aim towards the white wall where the lights are, I can't see the red dot anymore. It's harder. If I point towards the table or somewhere else where it's dark, it pops really good. But if I shine it towards a light that's right here, it takes me a little bit to find it because it's super clear. It's like it just gets washed out by the light. The amber gets washed out by the light. Maybe if it was green, maybe if it was red, it wouldn't be as bad. But for me, it still works. I can see it. So if I put this gun up and I aim at the light, I have to look for it. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I have to look for the amber. But what helps me find the red dot is my backup iron sights, which is also Trijicon night sights. The rear sight is amber and the front sight is green. So I have an amber red dot. The rear night sights light up amber, and then the front dot is green. So what that does is I see the left rear sight amber, I see the right rear sight amber, and then I see the green front sight. When I put the RMR amber dot, I put it directly on the green front sight. So that helps me find my targets faster, no matter if I'm in a low light situation, if I'm outside and it's bright in the middle of the day. All I do is I line up my iron sights like I would. I put the amber red dot right on top of the green front sight. That color difference helped me just find my target and find my dot so much faster. The red dot Trijicon RMR dual, it's a dual RMR, and one of the main reasons why I went with the Trijicon dual RMR. A lot of people say you should have saved up $100 more and get the adjustable RMRs and this and that, and yes, that is true. I specifically wanted the amber dual red dot for this build because for this build I didn't want to have to worry about removing the sight just to change out the batteries, because when you have an RMR and you change out the battery is on the bottom of it, so you have to unscrew it, take off the RMR, slide the battery in there, put it back on there and screw it back on, and that possibly could maybe make you lose 0 on your RMR, because if you unscrew it, you put it back, it might be off just a hair, just a little bit, so you're gonna have to re-zero your pistol. Me personally, I don't think that's a thing. I think if you take it off and you put it back in the exact same spot that was you nail and you screw it down the exact same amount of torque that you unscrewed it with, I think the dot is going to go right back. But some people say that, you have to re-zero, and I mean, I don't know. I've never, like I said, that's one of the main reasons why I wanted to do RMR, amber, specifically color, because I didn't want to have to deal about the batteries. I don't want to have to worry about removing this sight to change the batteries. When you run in the adjustable RMRs, the ones with the battery operated RMRs, that's kind of in the back of your head, like, I hope that my batteries are good. But that's why you want to make sure that you run backup iron sights, just in case your battery dies, you pull your gun out to defend yourself and your RMR is dead, you got your backup iron sights, and you don't have to worry about not being able to have any targeting system on your pistol. As I noted before, I'm running the Trijicon Suppressor Height night sights. So it's a Trijicon Suppressor Height sights, and for those of you who don't know, the reason why they're called Suppressor Height sights is because the sights are raised up. The factory sights are pretty low to the slide. They're pretty low and pretty short. When you run a suppressor, if you run a suppressor on your pistol and you have regular sights on there, it's gonna kind of block your sights. It's gonna block your sights a little bit, especially depending on how long the suppressor tube is. So if you got a long suppressor tube and you run in regular height sights, you're not going to be able to aim because the tube is going to be blocking, it's going to be in the way. So you want to get taller sights, suppressor height sights, so you can see over the suppressor. So that's why they're called suppressor height sights, in case you didn't know. That's why they're taller. So if you ever decide to run a suppressor, and even though, like I said in the beginning, I never was intending to put a suppressor on this, that's why I went with the flush mounted Zephyr precision barrel. I never intended to run a suppressor. So why do I have suppressor high sights? Because even though I know I wasn't going to run a suppressor, I knew I was going to run an RMR on this pistol. So I wanted to make sure that I have backup iron sights. So in case something happens with this RMR, for some reason it breaks, it stops working, it stops running, I still have my iron sights that I can use. And that's why I went with suppressor height sights, so I can still see through the RMR in case something happens and it stops working. Trigicon suppressor height night sights. Trigicon suppressor height night sights. That's a little twister. So now we're gonna get into the slide release. The slide release is from Tyrant Designs. I went with the slide release. I think that the little cuts that it has in the slide release, I think it goes perfectly with this slide. They just flow with each other, and so that's why I went with the Tyrant Designs slide release. Oh, let me just leave this right here. So I went with the side release because it just matches, it just kind of goes with the cuts. So if you look at the front serrations, it's going the opposite direction, and the rear serration cuts, even though it has the gold camo type gray and black design, it flows with the Tyrant Designs slide release. And I'll show a B-roll so you can see what I'm talking about. The slide cover plate is from Tyrant Designs. The color is a little bit off. It's a lot more it's a darker tin gold on the slide cover plate than this one. This one is a more tin gold that matches the barrel. It matches the barrel like perfectly. For some reason, Tyrant Design, I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's the metal that you're using. I'm assuming it's because it's the type of metal, so the color is going to be a little bit off from this metal. The color is off a little bit. It's not that noticeable. It's not that big of a deal to me. I do notice it, but it's not that extremely noticeable that the color is off. Like when you put them side to side, and you definitely can see the color difference. When you put them side by side, you can definitely see the color difference. So that's my biggest gripe with Tyrant Designs, and I'm debating if I should change this or not, but I just like how it looks, so I'm gonna keep it for now. I don't know if I want to, maybe I might spray it gray or something. I don't know, we'll see what happens. But the slide base plate, Tyrant Designs, slide release, Tyrant Designs. Alright, so next on the chopping block to talk about is gonna be my magazine base plates and my mag extensions. I have more magazines, but these are the ones that I usually carry with this pistol. This one is also Tyrant Designs. As you can see, it's the same design as this, and the color is off. The color is off in this one also. This one is more of a shiny type of metal. This one is more of a matte type gold finish. So all the three colors, Tyrant Designs. I don't know what's going on. Like I said, I'm assuming it's because of the metals that were used, that they're all a little bit off. The colors are off a little bit. Let me see if the camera will pick them up. The colors are off a little bit on your metals. I digress. It's no big deal. It's not that much of a big deal, but if I was super anal about it, I would definitely send this back, or I wouldn't use this. I would spray this, and there's a different color. For the mag extension, it's also Tyrant Designs, and this is a +4, I believe. Could be a +3, but I'm pretty sure it's a +4 because I have different ones for my different guns and stuff. I'm pretty sure this one is a +4, and I wanted this gray because it just flows perfectly with the gray and the slide, the trigger, and those are the gray parts. So that's the reason why I went with the gray mag extension, because it just goes and flows with the gray that's already in the pistol. Next up, we're gonna talk about the guide rod. This is one of my favorite guide rods. I just like the look. It's a fluted guide rod. I don't know if you'll be able to see it in there. I don't know, I'll try to get some B-roll. But the guide rod is fluted. It's a perfect match with the Zephyr precision barrel, and it's a perfect match with a lot of my gold parts that I have. This is just an awesome guide rod, man. It just maneuvers and racks the gun so beautifully. This guide rod, this Blacklist Industries guide rod, it seemed like it was like specifically made for my build. I feel that Blacklist Industries knew that I was building this pistol, and they were like, you know what, let's go ahead and make a gold guide rod for this guy's pistol. Oh man, that guide rod is kind of dirty. Woo, sheesh. But anyway, I'm gonna clean it eventually. This guide rod is just a perfect amount of pounds for this pistol. I want to rack the magazine without it closing all the time, so don't forget about these. I think I mentioned these in the video. These caps, these training caps, is super cool. You can use them on an empty magazine like I just did. It's empty, or you can use it with real bullets or training bullets. You put the bullet in there and you just put this on top. You just have to push down on it a little bit more. I'm wearing gloves, so it was a little bit harder to push in there, but you can use it on an empty magazine or with a loaded magazine. You put that on there, and what that does, it fools the gun into thinking that it's loaded. It fools the gun, so when you're doing certain drills that you want it to slide back in the battery, that's what you're gonna use that snap cap for. You just, so I can practice my dry fire drills. That's what that cap is for, is to fool your gun into thinking that it's loading around into the magazine, and it slides the slide back into back into battery. Back to the Blacklist Industries guide rod. This is an awesome guide rod. It looks super nice in person. Right now it's kind of dirty, I haven't cleaned this yet. It just flows with the gun. It's a perfect match. The metal and color, it's a perfect match for the barrel, and it just goes with my pins, and it just, to me, that just tied it all together, to put it together. Blacklist Industries guide rod for the money. In all my future builds, I am only using Blacklist Industries guide rods. This guide rod is just so butter. I can't even explain it, you know what I'm saying? You just, and you see, slide, it's just, those cuts in it, it's just, man, you can Mr. Cool Guy press checks with it, like, you know what I'm saying? You can do the little John Wick, the little John Wick press check, it's just, you can rack it. Some people like racking it from the back. Me, I don't have a specific. I like options. I do things differently. To me, it's like being in a bedroom. Some people like to hit it from the back. Some people like to hit it from the front. I do it all. I hit it from the back, front, the side, it doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? I gets down. But anyways, woo! Man, that conversation took a turn for the left. Anyways. Alright, check this out. Let's get back on topic, man. That conversation went left. I don't know why I pointed right. I said the conversation went left, but I pointed right. The conversation went left, quick. So let's wheel it back in the topic. The last thing I want to talk about is just who did the Cerakote work. There's a local shop. It's called Oasis Custom Firearms. They did the Cerakote for me. They did a pretty decent job with what I wanted. It was hard to really, I knew what I wanted in my head, and it was really hard to express the colors, how I wanted the colors incorporated, like in a camo pattern, and they did pretty good. They did pretty decent. Like I said, I use this a lot. I train a lot. I do a lot of dry fire, and I train with this a lot. So I abuse this slide. You know what I'm saying? I rack it off of shit. I rack it off of clothes. And it held up pretty good. There's some paint, that you can see like the paint is wearing off, it's getting that battle worn look. To me, it adds character. It kind of looks cooler as it goes along, like, the black is getting like kind of rubbed off in the gold, and you can see gold sticking out in the gray from when, I rack them a lot and it's just rubbing off the paint. And to me, it's, I don't know, it gives it that look. It gives it that look that, like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? It looks pretty, but it's still rugged. To me, it just gives it that unique look. It just kind of like, instead of making it look like all sharp and pointy, it starts rubbing off the edges, and it just gives it that more smooth, symmetrical look. The last things I want to talk about is the pins. I'm pretty sure the pins I use is all from Cross Armory. They're all the gold tint color. I had to top it off with gold pins. I had to get rid of the regular stock black pins, and I have to use gold pins just for that extra detail and that extra flashy look. What else can I talk about? I covered the slide, the barrel, the guide rod, the takedown pins. I guess next is to talk about is the light. The light that I went with is the Streamlight TLR 7A, 7 Alpha. I went with this light because I wanted a flush mounted light. I know a lot of guys have those big old Surefires and those big old, stream lights that sticks out the hair. I understand, I get it. I understand the reasoning behind why you want to have a light sticking out all the way in front of your pistol like that. I get it. And I'm gonna break that down for you because a lot of people don't know. So the reason why a lot of those dudes have those big old long lights is, let's say for example you're in a close quarter situation, somebody's up on you, they're attacking you, they're literally on you, you're wrestling with this person, and let's say you get your gun out the holster. Stick the gun in the holster real quick. Let's say you're wrestling with somebody and then you get your gun out the holster, and let's say you're right up against this person, you're shooting this person point blank. So one of the reasons behind having the extended lights is that if you press the gun up to this person and the light sticking out, the light is up against this person. So if you pull that trigger, the slide's gonna rock back. The slide's gonna rack back with no problem, because if you stick this pistol up in somebody, let's say this is somebody, and I jam the pistol up and the slide moves back a little bit. If the slide goes out of battery just by that little bit, the gun is not gonna go off. It's not gonna function. You're gonna pull the trigger, nothing's gonna happen because the gun's out of battery. So that's one of the whole reasons. If you're up close and you jam this gun into somebody and the gun flies back out of battery just by that little bit, and you pull the trigger, it's just gonna go click. It's not gonna go boom. It's gonna go click. So that's one of the reasons why they have those extended. So they like, if I ever get close to somebody and I gotta jam my gun in their ribs and I pull the trigger, it's not gonna malfunction. I'm gonna make sure it goes off. And also another reason why is that they say if you're up close with somebody, you're up close and personal, and you can use the light to punch somebody, hit somebody in the face. And I mean, I get it. I mean, the chances of that happening is next to none, slim to none, if any. But if I hit you in the face with this flush mounted light, with this flush mounted barrel, and I jab you in the face with it, that's just gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt just as bad as if you just get hit with a flashlight. And I get it, I understand. But if I jab you in the face with this, it's gonna freaking hurt. Anyways, me personally, I'm not a fan of the light sticking out. There's nothing wrong with the lights sticking out. If you got your lights, if you got freaking a 7-inch light, I mean, hey, more power to you. But me personally, for my personal taste, for my personal needs, I wanted my light to be flush mounted with my barrel. So that's why I went with the stream light. And I also like the shape. I like the shape of the stream light, the shape of it. A lot of the Surefires and a lot of the stream lights, they're like this big bulky rounded oval shaped light. And to me, that shape doesn't go with the shape of the pistol. The Gen 3 Glock 19s are really boxy. As you can see, it's like a box. The slide is like a box. It's a box-shaped slide. So why would I have a box-shaped slide and then have a rounded oval-shaped light? I wanted a light to seem boxy. As you can see, it's like a box shape, and it just flows with the flow of the pistol. And so that's why I went with the stream light. I said all that to say I wanted a stream light because I wanted to flush mount it, and I wanted it to be a little bit more squared and boxy like the old box Chevy. And so that's why I went with the stream light. That's basically it. I don't want to drag this on anymore. I'm pretty sure I covered everything. I covered the slide, I covered the frame, I covered the pins, the mag release, slide release, takedown pins, the trigger, the light, the sighting system, the RMR, iron sights, magazine base plates, magazine extension. So that's my build. If you have any questions you want any more detail, like I said, if there's something that I missed or something you want to know about a company or a part that I use, how I like it, how it functions, just hit me up in the comments below. I'll try to answer all your questions as best I can. If you have any questions, if I have any issues, this thing has ran like a top. It's a dream. It's butter. It's money. Like I said, I hit it from the back, I hit it from the front, I hit it from the side, I hit it from the top. I just hit it. I like hitting. When I rack my rounds, I like to rack it from all directions. I like to hit it in all directions. From the back, from the front, top. I hit it from all directions, man. That's one of the reasons why I like this slide. You can get it from all directions. You can get it from the top, back. I'm racking this with my right hand. Rack, front, top, back. However, you can hit it. You can hit it from the top, however you want to hit it. Hit it from the front. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you hit it from the front one more time with from the front slide, hit it from the front, hit it from the back, the top, the side. Hey, however, This pistol will let you hit it in any position you can think about. You can hit it with this pistol, and that's why I built this pistol, so I can hit it from every direction. You picking up what I'm putting down? But anyways, I'm gonna get out of here, man. I'm gonna stop clowning. I'm gonna stop jonesing with y'all. But like I said, man, if you guys have any questions, it's not gonna want to stand up for me, man. She's tired. I've been hitting it. I've been hitting it from all directions. She's tired. But anyways, if you have any questions, comments, or anything you want to ask me about any parts or anything, like I said, just go ahead and hit me up in below. I'm gonna stop rambling. I'm gonna stop dragging this video on. I hope y'all have a good day. Have a blessed day, and remember, let's keep America tactical. These gun nuts are out there trying to take our gun rights away right from under us, and a lot of Americans just don't care, and they're just letting these people do whatever they want, change laws, put in laws, and that's, like I said, I'm gonna end it on this note. America doesn't have a gun problem. America doesn't have a gun violence problem. Yes, there's gun violence, but it's not because of the guns. America has a problem with people that don't like to follow rules, don't like to follow laws. America has a crime problem. There's crime in America, and criminals happen to use guns. And all I'm gonna say is, it doesn't matter what laws you pass. It doesn't matter. You can ban this. You can ban polymer 80s. You can ban 9mm. You can ban RMR. You can ban tactical lights. You can ban extended magazines. But guess what? The criminals don't give a shit. The criminals don't give two shits about your paper laws and telling them that they can't, because a criminal is going to have this gun that you say he can't have. A criminal is going to have this magazine that you say he can't have. A criminal is going to get this light and this sighting system that you say he can't have. Criminals don't give two shits about gun laws. The only people that gun laws affect is people like myself and millions like me, law-abiding citizens who carry guns, who love guns, guns enthusiasts, who believe in our Second Amendment right to bear and have arms. That's the only people gun laws and gun restrictions affect. Mass shootings happened in the past while there was tough, strict gun laws. Gun laws is not going to prevent mass shootings. Gun laws is not going to stop somebody from getting an AR illegally in the streets to go shoot up a mall or to go shoot up a Walmart or whatever. Gun laws is not going to stop that. The only thing gun laws is going to do is going to restrict law-abiding citizens like myself from protecting myself from those idiots who go out there and buy guns illegally, get guns illegally to do dumb shit. The only person it's going to affect is me and other people like me. This is a very sensitive topic that pisses me off every time it comes up. Support your Second Amendment right. If you don't own a gun, go out and purchase a weapon. Go out and purchase a gun for your own protection. Because if you go somewhere with your family to the store, grocery store, hell, it happened in Boulder, Colorado recently at a supermarket, and had one of those people in that supermarket was carrying a gun, it could have ended this a long time ago. I'm gonna just add this, and I think I'm gonna make another video about this, but the media only covers mass shootings when there was a bunch of victims and there was no one with a gun there to help and stop the nonsense that was going on. Media covers those type of stories. Recently in Fort Smith, there was a shooting in an apartment complex where a guy started shooting people. He killed an old lady. I'm not going to say the names or whatever. He shot this old lady and he was threatening to shoot a lot more people. One of the neighbors heard this, got his rifle, I'm pretty sure it was an AR, went out, shot and killed this guy, and stopped and prevented this guy from killing multiple people. The news didn't cover it. Mainstream media didn't cover it. The local news covered it, but the mainstream, nope, we didn't hear about it. And there's a lot of stories like that out there where people was intending to go out and shoot a lot of people and kill a lot of people, but somebody, a law-abiding citizen with a gun, stopped it, and you don't hear about those stories. All you hear about is the stories that people don't have weapons to protect themselves. This person comes in, kill a whole bunch of people, and it's all over the news. And then they try to turn around and say, this is why we need gun laws to stop people from doing these type of things. No, you need less gun laws so people could feel more comfortable carrying guns so they can defend themselves and stop people from killing innocent people.